Well, it started out like I wasn't really interested in missions, and I was just like, whatever. And
we really didn't see missions coming for our family. This is unexpected.
It's really been this startling transformation that God has changed us from the people who just kind of observed missions to being the people who said, we want to be about frontier missions.
Well, it started with my dad. He would work for some nonprofit organizations doing video in other countries.
Supporting missionaries, shooting video in places like Uganda.
God used former child soldiers in Uganda and poor farmers in Zambia to break my heart. And I just felt there, as I was in Africa, that my life should be more about doing this sort of thing and less about pursuing the American dream.
Steve was taking a swim in Malawi in a pool that was filled with bugs, huge bugs that he couldn't just swim with. So he got out of the pool and went into his hotel room to escape and spent some time in prayer and reading his Bible and just meditating on the things he had seen in Uganda and Zambia, some of the heartbreaking situations.
I just said to the Lord, I could do this for the rest of my life. What would you have me do? And as I was praying about this in Malawi, I really felt God saying, Steve, if that's what you want to do, I'd like to help you to do it.
But we were never part of that. We just wait for him, and then he'd come back and he'd tell us about it, but we never got into missions.
And it finally occurred to us that we should just be part of it. We don't need to watch it. We can go do it.
We learned about this organization, Create International, and we were delighted when they said, why don't you come work with us?
We're moving to Australia to do video production with a group of people that work with Create International to do missions video based out of Perth, Western Australia.
Create International is an organization that reaches people in mainly the 1040 window.
Some of the most unreached people live in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East.
Some people that Create International goes to reach would otherwise never hear about God.
Over 60% of the world's population can't read or write.
And they make sure that those people can hear the importance of Jesus Christ.
Through things like music videos and films.
Evangelistic websites, indigenous music production.
Mobilization videos, videos that show what a church setting would be like in their own culture, in their own language.
Basically taking cutting-edge tools and using them in the service of advancing the gospel to people who wouldn't otherwise hear about it if it wasn't for some technological means that's reaching out and saying, come be a part of the family of God.
Create International is located in Perth, Australia. That's on the west coast of Australia. It's the most isolated city in the world.
It's remote, but it's supposed to be beautiful. It has oceans and beaches, and it's also a city, and it's totally surrounded by either water or desert.
But what it has going for it is it's only one plane ride away from most of the places where they work, places like Thailand and India, other locations in South Asia.
It's a growing and vibrant ministry, and they're planting new bases in other countries like Thailand and India.
Australia is on the other side of the world and completely underneath the equator, therefore the seasons are reversed of what we have here, and the entire population of Australia is equivalent to the population of New York City.
It's going to be really warm there, so I won't have to worry about being really cold all the time. And I've always wanted to see a kangaroo, so I'm pretty sure I'll get my chance if we go to Australia.
I'm excited to move to Australia because it's an experience somewhere else. It's something fun to do.
Abby and I, a couple of years ago, we were like, after we finish college, we're going to move to Australia and get 2 dogs. So it's kind of ironic how now we might actually move to Australia and maybe get a dog. Maybe. That'd be cool.
Now it's definitely where I want to go. I couldn't think of anywhere else to be.
Since we made the decision to go to Australia, I have just been praying about it so much, and we all have. And I've been getting more excited every day and just praying that this can happen and hoping so badly because it's going to be so fun and so awesome, and I feel like this is what God wants us to do with our lives.
At first I wasn't really excited about selling everything and just going to the other side of the world, but then God began to tell me that I realized that this is what we had to do. I just knew.
It's like a dream come true to think that literally my family and I could be involved in something so important, and that it could so perfectly take the gifts and talents that my whole family possesses and put them in the service of the King that we love to serve. that's really humbling. I can't wait to be a part of it. I wish that we could get there faster.